Hello my dear cookies, how are you guys doing? I hope you're good wherever you are. My name is Nella and I go by my signature name, Cooking with Mrs. Kosa. Let's say it together, Cooking with Mrs. Kosa. Yes, welcome to my channel and please subscribe, hit the like button, and please always ring the bell so that all the time when I upload a new video you can obviously see it. And please also comment, just let me know your thoughts. What do you think? What would you like to see me cook or bake the next time? So today I'm back with another video and we are cooking. Can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess? Yes, we are cooking some lasagna. So we making lasagna from scratch. So we'll be using just the quick ingredients that we'll be using. We'll be using these lasagna sheets from Woolworths. So you can always get your lasagna sheets from anywhere. So this was like the closest to me at this point. We need that for the lasagna. And obviously to boil our lasagna sheets, you will need salt and some oil. Whatever choice of your oil you want to use, just to boil your lasagna sheets and also make them soft, right? And another thing that I'm going to incorporate into my lasagna, it will be spinach. So I've already cleaned and chopped my spinach, so I'm going to obviously incorporate this. And also lastly, I'm going to also add some beans. What is lasagna without beans if you're not a vegetarian? Of course, definitely, right? So obviously, so for my spinach, I'll need my onions. I also need my garlic. It's in my fridge. I'll grab my garlic in the fridge. Obviously pepper and some salt, right? That will be just for the spinach, and obviously some cream. So that's the cream that I'll be using for the spinach. Then to make my lasagna sauce, I'm gonna use this double thick cream to make my lasagna sauce, right? And I'm also gonna add just a tablespoon of the flour just to make it thick. I want it thickened, right? So obviously another thing that I'm going to incorporate when I'm cooking my spinach, it will be the butter. This is the Spa brand butter. And I'm also going to need obviously the cheese as I layer my lasagna. And I'll be adding some spices, some parsley, and on top I'll add some rosemary, right? So I'm enjoying a glass of some liquid fruit cranberry juice. Hi liquid fruit. So yes, I'll be enjoying that as I'm cooking right now. Yes, let's go ahead. So I've already brought my, let me just show you, I've already brought my pot to boil. So I've added some water, salt, and some oil. So I'm gonna just boil my lasagna sheets in them. Just gonna grab one. So I've already done a few of them already. So I'm just short of one. And this is the whole oven bowl that I'm gonna use to layer my lasagna. Cool. So I'm gonna start with the spinach now. So my stove is already hot there. I'm just gonna add my spinach in there. I've washed it thoroughly. So I'm gonna add my spinach in there, obviously with the water from there. Just add all of it. And I'm also gonna add some onion. So I've chopped my onion already. I'm just gonna add it in there. And then I'm also gonna add some salt and some pepper. We also need our pepper to add in there. And I'm also gonna grab some garlic. I'm also gonna add some, this is the Food Lovers brand garlic that I use. And I'm obviously gonna add just not so much, just a little bit in my spinach, just a little bit. I think that is enough. And then I'm just gonna cover my spinach because I want all the water coming from the spinach to cook the spinach. So let me grab. So I have my mince here. I'll just put it there on the stove. The stove is hot. So what I will do right now, I'm gonna add just a little bit of the garlic in my, not so much. You don't want to overwhelm your dish obviously with a lot of garlic. You don't want it to be garlicky. So I'm also gonna add some onions in my mince, and then right now I'm gonna add some pepper, of course, a little bit, just a little bit of the turmeric. You don't want to make everything to be too yellow, so just a little bit should be enough. And I'm going to add some rosemary, of course. And then I'm just going to put this on the stove because I also want to add some spices. So I'm going to put that on the stove. And also on the other side, my lasagna sheet is boiling. So while we wait for that to cook, we can start now trying to layer up everything. So it's entirely up to you how you would like to do it. So how I usually do it, I grab some butter and just apply it all over my pan like that, my bowl. Just apply it like that. Oh, and another thing that I forgot to do is to preheat my oven, so I'll definitely go ahead and do that right now. I'm just gonna preheat my oven. So yes, I've coated my casserole bowl like that. So let's put it at 180 degrees, both up and down. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it like that. So I'm gonna go ahead now and just try to add. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this UCC spice. I get the spices from discount, so I see I don't have much left. I'm just gonna go all in with all of it. It has salt, so I don't need to add salt. So I'm also gonna add a little bit of this beef cube. This is the chili one. I'm just gonna add like a little bit of it, not even half, quarter of it, like that. That should be enough. And then I'm gonna put this on my hot stove and just try to add everything together. It's smelling great, it's coming all right. So I'm gonna grab that and just try to mix everything together. Here I see the water is coming out. Like I said, I didn't want to add any water in my spinach, so I did well by doing that. So I'm just gonna add everything together. Okay, so now what I'm gonna need, I will need to grab some green pepper. So I'm gonna grab some green pepper. This is the green pepper that I'm gonna add into my meats. So let me grab that green pepper now. That I had from the last time I prepared something. I can't even remember what I was preparing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop that up. So this should be enough. Let me just grab a knife. So I'll go ahead and chop everything later on, not right now. I'm only gonna add this when it's almost at the time where my mince is getting well done. Not now. I'm gonna add this later on, so I'm just gonna put that on the side. Remember, I didn't add any water. This is just the water that came out from the spinach itself of everything. So like I said, my lasagna sheets which I've prepared already, I'm just gonna go ahead and layer my lasagna sheets. So I just want to make sure that you can see. So what I would like to do, because I don't want them to be stacking on each other, so I'll just cut it in half like that. And also on the other side, just cut it in half and just place it on the other side like that. So what I will need to do now, I'll need to start preparing my sauce, because the next thing that will follow is the sauce. How I'm gonna make my sauce, I'm gonna use my double cream to make my sauce. I'm just gonna start making my sauce. Tablespoon of that. I think that should be enough. That's enough. And then I'm gonna add some water and mix everything together now. Gonna mix everything. Now a whisker just to get rid of those lumps that I see here. So I've brought my pot on the stove and I'm just gonna go ahead and add my flour mixture there. And just add a little bit of water. Just clean off everything and just give it a mix. So the trick here is to mix that flour mixture and make sure that it doesn't get any lumps, right? I'll go ahead and add my green pepper. Just gonna add the green pepper in there. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of this sauce, the Maggi chili and garlic sauce. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. in there, because remember, I'm gonna use this means to actually build up my lasagne. So I'm also gonna grab some water to add in here. Much water, just add in there, and then just mix everything. Let's put it back on the stove. And the sauce smells great. So I just put, oh, look at that. You see what I was afraid of was for my flour to actually get lumps, but I just need to continue mixing that to get rid of the lumps, and I will need to add water there. Just continue mix everything to get rid of those lumps. Now this is gonna be a lot of mixing. Add some pepper in my sauce, add some parsley as well. Parsley, my double cream, my double thick cream. Can you see the cream? It's very, very thick. It's very thick. So I'm just gonna add that much because this is for the sauce that we need to build our lasagna. Continue mixing because I don't want it to have lumps. I need to add some little bit of salt. Not so much this cream. Let me come and add here. I'm gonna add all of it. Oops. I'm gonna add all of the cream in. We just mix everything. This cream in my spinach, my mince. Tastes amazing. Looks amazing, I meant. That's how it's looking. And I can taste, of course. The salt, nice. Nice. Now on the stove and just leave it to cook for a little bit. Alright cookies, so let's check up on our sauce, let's check up on our meats, and just let's see how everything is looking, and also on our spinach. So this is how our sauce is looking right now. Oh my. Look how thick that is. I'm telling you, the next time you want to cook something creamy, whether it's cream spinach or lasagna, just try this double thick sauce. Imagine this sauce with some steak. I'm telling you, you should try it. So anyway, right now I'm gonna go ahead and layer my sauce on my lasagna sheets. And just layer everything like that. Can you see? We just layer everything. Just layer it. Oh my. Can already see how the end result of our lasagna will be tasting and looking. So that's how I do it. I just layered my thick sauce like that. So the second thing that I'm gonna use is my spinach. So my spinach is ready right now. Let's transfer this into a clean bowl. Oh my, so that is how our spinach is looking. I don't want it to be too creamy anyway, because I have what? The sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste the spinach before. Layer my lasagne with the spinach like that. Just layer everything out. Just layer everything out. Okay, grating some cheese. Cheese here, which I'm just gonna finish off. I'm gonna finish off this cheese before I can start opening the new one. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. Tell me there on the comment section, how do you usually layer your lasagna? Do you end off with just your cheese on top of your lasagna? What I do, I also incorporate within, when I'm layering the layers of my lasagna sheets, of my spinach, and also of my cream, and then the mince, I also put some cheese as well, just to bind everything together. I do that just to eat in there, not too much of course, because I'm gonna have like 2 layers of these, so I think my mince is ready as well, and put a layer of that mince on top. Go ahead and put a layer of that. Just put enough mince, because I'm gonna have 2 layers of this. I'm gonna repeat this twice, so I'm gonna repeat this again with the same. I'm gonna go in with the sauce, the white sauce that I made. I'm gonna go in there. I just want you guys to see everything. I'm gonna go in there and layer my sauce on my mince. It's giving some lasagna vibes, you know. So I'm just gonna go ahead there. Just gonna add enough of the sauce. All right, and then now I'm gonna go in again with my lasagna sheets. After the second layer of the sauce, I'm gonna go on with my first sheet. So I've put my first sheet. Now I'm gonna go in with the second sheet, and then the third lasagna sheet there, right? And I'm gonna go in again with the sauce. I'm gonna add the sauce. Just gonna add that sauce there. Can you see? I'm gonna add the sauce. And then just make sure that your sheets don't overlap, because if they overlap and now you're gonna take this into the oven, it will burn. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience, it's not gonna be nice. It's not gonna be nice at all. So yes, I need all that sauciness in there. Cheese. I'm gonna add cheese on top, and I'm gonna go in with another layer of the spinach. Now I'm gonna go with all of it. Just gonna add all of the spinach in there, in with the mince, all of it, of course. So we're just gonna add them. Add your mince, add your mince, and you add your mince. And I'm gonna go in again with the cheese. The trick, go in on top with my lasagna sheet on top, like that. And also add on the other side. Remember, this is on top of the cheese, né? And then now this is the part where you're gonna add like plenty of the cheese. If you still have the sauce, obviously you can go in with the sauce, but I ran out of the sauce, which is absolutely okay. It's okay. Then I'm just gonna go in with the cheese on top, right? So you're just gonna add up, but then I'm gonna go in with the cheese, plenty of the cheese. Just to make my lasagna tasty, I go with the rosemary. I add some rosemary, especially on top. I add some generous amount of rosemary like that, and then I go in with my cheese. It's what makes your lasagna, so I'm just gonna add that on top. So many layers of the lasagna I've added there. It's like 3 layers, so I mean you can only eat one and you're done. So I think we're gonna eat evenly, layer it around evenly. And what I usually do, I just pat it like that, just to make sure that there's no air in between and everything is just nicely secured and covered. And that add my rosemary again on top. And then I'm gonna put this in the oven. I'm gonna put this in the oven at 100 degrees Celsius. I don't want to put it at 180 because I don't want it to remember, right now I'm not exactly cooking, I'm just melting the cheese. So the cooking process is done. I'm just now adding the cheese, melting the cheese. So I'm gonna put this at the oven for like 100 degrees Celsius. That's how everything is looking. Okay, 100 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes just to melt the cheese, and I'm gonna be right back after 10 minutes. Hi cookies, so this is 10 minutes later. You know, like I said, we're not cooking our lasagna. We just want our cheese to melt and just incorporate with everything so that it can layer out nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the oven right now and just see how everything turned out. Let's see. Okay. Wow. Oh, look at that. Look at that, my dear cookies. Can you see the cheese is nicely melted, and I can smell the rosemary that I've just poured on top here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let it cool for like a good 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna come then cut it, and then we just enjoy it just hot. So let's go ahead and cut our lasagna. It's still very much hot, but obviously I would like to enjoy a piece right now and just to taste how everything else is looking. So you must be very much careful when you cut your lasagna, because if it's still very hot, everything can just fall apart. And you can see the cheese there has nicely melted. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my butcher knife and just try to scoop out everything if I can, and so that we can go ahead and enjoy this for dinner tonight. Let's go for it. Oh, look at that.